You owe it to you, not next year, not someday, not when it's convenient right now, in 2025. This is not just another year. This is the year where everything shifts if you decide it will. Not because the world gives you permission, not because someone else believes in you, but because you finally stood up and said, I'm done living beneath my potential. Let's get one thing straight. No one is coming to save you. There is no rescue team, no shortcut, no secret strategy that the successful people are hiding. The only difference between the people who build a life they're proud of and the ones who stay stuck is the decision to stop waiting and start demanding more from themselves. You owe it to yourself to rise, to fight, to let go of the past that's been gripping your identity and choking your momentum. You owe it to the kid you used to be, the one who had dreams before the world started handing you limitations. You owe it to the version of yourself that still believes there's more, that hasn't fully given up, even if they've gone quiet. You owe it to the future you, the one standing on a stage, or holding your dream business in your hands, or looking in the mirror 10 years from now saying, thank you for not quitting. But here's the truth most people won't tell you: you can't step into your greatness while protecting your comfort. Growth demands discomfort. It demands pain. And most of all, it demands honesty. Not the kind of honesty you post online when you're trying to look vulnerable. I mean brutal, raw honesty with yourself. Are you showing up the way your future requires? Are you leading your life, or are you sleepwalking through it, hoping it magically gets better? Hope is not a strategy. Strategy is built by decisions, and decisions come from standards. When you raise your standards, everything changes. You stop tolerating weak habits. You stop surrounding yourself with small energy. You stop giving time to distractions that numb you. You stop negotiating with excuses that keep you average. You say, enough, I'm done. Done playing small. Done chasing approval. Done living from fear. Done explaining your vision to people who were never meant to understand it. This is the year you wake up and say, I don't need more time. I need more truth. And the truth is, I've been capable all along. I just haven't demanded it from myself. You think you need more motivation, but what you really need is to remember who the hell you are. You've been doubting yourself because you've been listening to noise. You've been seeking validation instead of execution. You've been delaying action while calling it planning. But here's what I want you to hear in your soul: you owe it to you to take your power back. That means stop blaming your environment. Stop blaming your parents. Stop blaming your city, your job, your partner, your childhood. That's the old story, and you've told it long enough. Now you write a new one where you're the author, not the victim, one where your pain becomes your reason, not your excuse. You want peace? Earn it. You want power? Build it. You want purpose? Live it. It won't be easy, but if it were, everyone would be living with fire in their eyes and freedom in their hearts. You want to be different? Then act different. Wake up earlier, push harder, feel deeper, forgive faster, speak louder, love bolder, lead yourself when no one is watching. Because success doesn't come from being seen, it comes from being built. In the silence, in the repetition, in the boring, painful, disciplined choices that no one claps for. That's where you rise. That's where you shift from wishing to owning, from surviving to leading, from broken to unshakable. So ask yourself right now, am I showing up like someone who owes themselves everything? Or am I still showing up like someone hoping to be saved? You owe it to you to stop running from responsibility and start running toward it. Own your habits, own your focus, own your attitude, own your damn outcomes. This year, don't set a goal, set a standard. One that scares the old version of you. One that says, I'm no longer available for average. When you do that, everything changes. Not overnight, but daily. Not in a wave of hype, but in a storm of discipline. Because discipline is love. Discipline says, I care enough about my future to stay uncomfortable today. That's what 2025 is asking from you. Not perfection, not hype, just honest commitment to becoming who you were always meant to be. You owe it to the dream. You owe it to the fight. You owe it to the people who believe in you. But more than anything, you owe it to you. You say you want change. Good. Then it's time to stop flirting with transformation and finally marry the process. Stop dipping your toes in the water of growth and pretending that's commitment. You don't get to tiptoe into your potential. You jump. You go all in, because anything less than full ownership is betrayal to your future self. You owe it to you to stop entertaining the old identity that keeps showing up dressed in self-doubt, wrapped in fear, whispering lies like you're not ready, you're not good enough. You're too late. Those voices, they're echoes of an old version of you that was too scared to believe. And the longer you listen to them, the more they win. You win when you decide to drown them out with action, with focus, with next level standards. The people you admire didn't get there by luck, they got there by obsession, by hunger, by showing up when they didn't feel like it. They weren't chosen, they chose themselves. So what are you waiting for? Permission, you don't need it. Approval, you won't get it. Perfection, you'll never have it. This is your year to stop negotiating with weakness. This is the year you kill the old habits that are stealing your fire. You're not stuck, you're just addicted to patterns that no longer serve you. Break them, rip them out. Burn the excuses that made you soft. You owe it to you to become mentally bulletproof. I'm not talking about fake confidence. I'm talking about real inner power, the kind that doesn't need applause, the kind that doesn't flinch under pressure, the kind that walks into uncertainty with absolute clarity because you trained yourself to trust your own word. That's the power most people never reach because they're too busy reacting, too busy comparing, too busy playing small and calling it realistic. But realistic doesn't build legends. Realistic builds regrets. So here's the new standard. You speak power into yourself daily. Not affirmations you don't believe, but truths you earn by how you live. You earn your self-respect when you do the things your lazy self doesn't want to do. When you choose discipline over distraction. When you work your plan even when your emotions beg for comfort. You owe it to you to no longer be a slave to how you feel. Your feelings don't own you, you own you. You feel tired. Good. Do it anyway. You feel scared. Perfect. Walk through it. You feel invisible. Amazing. Let them sleep on you, just don't sleep on yourself. Because this is what separates leaders from talkers. Leaders build identity around commitment, not comfort, around consistency, not emotion, around action, not hype. I want you to feel this in your bones. There is no force stronger than a human being who has decided to stop quitting on themselves, and that can be you. But you can't keep holding on to that weak story about why it hasn't worked yet. That story is old. It's expired. Let it go. It doesn't belong in this chapter. This chapter is about fire. This chapter is about showing up whether or not the world notices. This chapter is about building momentum so massive that excuses can't keep up. You owe it to you to become undeniable. Not because of some magical overnight success, but because of the way you wake up every single day and attack your morning like it's your last chance to become who you were meant to be. The clock is ticking not because time is your enemy, but because your potential is waiting. It's calling out to you and saying, are you ready to become the one who doesn't just talk it, but lives it? Stop ghosting your goals. Stop cheating on your vision with comfort and distraction. You were built for more. You've always known it. You feel it every time you see someone else winning and that burn hits your gut. That's not jealousy. That's the universe reminding you that you've still got work to do. Don't waste that. Burn. Use it. Feed it. Fuel it. Turn it into early mornings, late nights, extra reps, clearer focus, deeper purpose. You owe it to you to stop chasing temporary highs and start building permanent foundations. The parties, the scrolling, the gossip, it's all noise. And every second you give it is a second stolen from your greatness. Start investing in the quiet work, the boring work, the work that no one sees, but everyone feels once you finally break through. Because make no mistake, you will break through. But only if you stop quitting every time it gets hard. Only if you stop asking for results from effort you haven't consistently given. Only if you start showing up like the results already belong to you. That's how power is built. That's how legends are made. They build when it's not convenient. They lead when it's not easy. They commit when motivation disappears. That's your new standard. That's the 2025 you. Not the one who hopes, the one who executes. Not the one who explains, the one who proves. Not the one who fears, the one who leads. You owe it to you to stop being a prisoner of your past and start being the architect of your future. No more playing small to make other people comfortable. No more hiding your light so you don't offend their shadows. This year, you show up. Full strength, full presence, full accountability. No more halfway. No more excuses. Just you, your fire, and your future. You owe it to you. There comes a moment when enough is enough. When you stop waiting for a breakthrough and realize you are the damn breakthrough. That moment is now, and that person is you. You've been circling the same mountain, asking why life won't change. And I'm here to tell you, life isn't the problem, your patterns are. You keep repeating comfort and expecting transformation. You keep telling yourself someday like someday is going to knock on your door and drag you into your purpose. It won't. There is no magical motivation coming. There's no right time. There's only one moment that matters. The moment you decide to rise. Decide to stop playing soft with your life. Decide to lead yourself without applause, without validation, without a guarantee. Because that's what warriors do. You owe it to you to stop chasing permission and start demanding results from yourself. Results don't come from wishing, they come from alignment, consistency, ownership. And let me be clear, ownership doesn't mean perfection. It means you show up over and over, even after you fall, especially after you fall, because pain isn't a punishment. It's a process. The pain of growth is the evidence that you're alive and moving. You cannot numb your way to power. You cannot scroll your way into leadership. You have to bleed for this, sweat for this, cry for this. Because the vision you see in your head was planted there for a reason. And you weren't given that vision so you could bury it under fear, doubt, or someone else's opinion. You were given that vision to build it, to live it, to become it. That's the mission. That's the game. This isn't about proving people wrong. It's about proving yourself right. It's about honoring your potential, your path, your responsibility to evolve. You owe it to you to become the kind of person who doesn't shrink in uncertainty, who thrives in it. That's what separates the 1%. It's not luck, it's mental fortitude, it's emotional dominance, it's spiritual clarity, it's being the kind of person who looks chaos in the face and says, I'm still going, because the storm doesn't scare you anymore. It activates you. You don't need the weather to be perfect. You don't need the world to agree with you. You just need your commitment. Locked in, zero negotiation. That's where transformation begins. And when you start showing up like that, with intention, with presence, with a fire in your gut that no one can take from you, you start to feel different. You start to walk different. You start to attract different. The right people show up. The right doors open. The right energy aligns. Why? Because you stop waiting for the world to give you what you weren't giving yourself. Belief, and belief isn't some fluffy mindset. It's forged in repetition, in choices, in self-respect. Belief grows when you start keeping promises to yourself. When you wake up and do what you said you would, not just once, but daily, until it's no longer effort, it's identity. That's when your life shifts. Not when you get likes, not when you go viral, but when you become unshakable in your own word. That's the moment you go from playing life to owning it. You owe it to you to stop quitting when it gets quiet, to stop backing down because you feel alone. You are not alone. You're just early in your process, early in your building season, early in your rise. Don't mistake silence for failure. The soil doesn't make noise when the seed breaks open, but something powerful is happening. That's you. You're growing in the dark, and soon everyone will see what you've been fighting for. But even if they never do, that's not why you do it. You don't build discipline for attention. You build it for freedom. You build it because the most dangerous person is the one who no longer needs to be understood to keep going. That's power. You owe it to you to build that, to become that, to lead with that. And yes, you're going to lose people. You're going to outgrow rooms. You're going to make people uncomfortable with your progress. But hear me, if your growth offends them, they were never your tribe. Let them go. This is not the year you slow down to make others comfortable. This is not the year you explain your fire to people who fear their own. This is the year you move, relentlessly, quietly, boldly, without guilt. Because this is your year of construction, of breakthrough, of full circle energy. Everything you've been through, the pain, the loss, the delay, the betrayal, it didn't break you. It built you, and now to use it, not to prove how much you've suffered, but to show how much you've risen. That's legacy. That's leadership. And that's what 2025 is calling from you. Not your excuses, not your past, not your fear. It's calling for your decision. One decision: to stop quitting on yourself, to stop returning to what broke you, to stop putting your energy into people, places, and patterns that no longer align with the future you're claiming. That version of you is built, not born, and the tools are already in your hands. Your focus, your time, your breath, your belief, your hunger. Use them. Use them like your life depends on it. Because it does. Your peace depends on it. Your purpose depends on it. Your freedom depends on it. And your legacy demands it. You owe it to you.